The 12 steps of AA, of addiction recovery programs, and the spiritual exercises of Ignatius, I think at the heart have the same dynamic.
Well, there's the famous story that on a winter night in New York City, the doorbell rang and Bill Wilson opened the door, and there was this man in clerics standing there. And he says, "I'm Father Ed Dowling, a Jesuit from St. Louis, and I've just seen your 12 steps published. I got to talk to you." And so Wilson later recounted that he welcomed Father Dowling in, and they started to talk, and Dowling said, "Well, these 12 steps that have just been published, it's obvious you've made St. Ignatius Loyola's spiritual exercises." And Wilson said, "What?" And so Dowling and he began to talk and developed a relationship. What became very clear was, although these had separate births, as it were, the exercises and Ignatian spirituality go hand in glove.
If you go through a 12-step program, you will hear that. You know you need to cultivate a relationship with God as you know Him, not the Christian God, the Jewish God, the Muslim God, but God as the individual knows Him.
As I see with the women, the 12 steps teach them how to pray and how to look back and reflect on how God has been present in their life, in their hard times, and then also in the good times.
ISP gives people skills and practice and a sense of comfort in learning how to pray, how to cultivate that relationship that the 12 steps tell them they need to if they're going to keep sober.
What's unique to the spiritual exercises is that you don't look at your sinfulness or your brokenness until you know you're loved by God. Now in the 12 steps, that may not necessarily be the case. You realize that there's something greater than yourself that's going to be able to restore you to sanity. But you go into looking at your brokenness, your sinfulness, oftentimes not necessarily knowing that you're loved by God. That's the genius of Ignatius.
The beginning of the exercises is just really a reflection and really having that understanding and remembering and experiencing and calling to mind that feeling of love. And in contrast to the abandonment and the down and out, hitting rock bottom, stripped portion.
You know, in 12-step recovery work, obviously, when one is in the throes of their addiction, there is no freedom. Your life revolves around using, picking up that drink, getting high. With the spiritual exercises, you take a look at those things which are keeping you free from responding to God's invitation of love, made in love. So freedom is essential in both.
One of the constant changes that you see on the retreat is a group of people who come together who don't know each other well, right? Who at the end of the retreat have a brother or sisterhood and love toward